everyone, it's me, the Vigilante, and I'm back at it with another video. So, I thought that Austin John Plays was like the biggest fanboy to ever exist, but somehow I found one that is even more of a fanboy than Austin John Plays. This man is one of the most delusional men I have ever met in my life, especially when it comes to Nintendo, so let's check him out. It is none other than the Harmon Smith.
So I finally got back home after working like long, hard hours at my job. Unlike everyone else, apparently, because everyone else was like sitting at home just watching Nintendo Directs, complaining about like the console, even though like all of them are gonna buy it day one. It was embarrassing. It was cringy. Okay.
First off, I seriously doubt you know what long, hard hours is. Okay. So it wouldn't even surprise me if you don't have a job. You know, getting your back blown out for 4 hours by Nintendo, I don't think that really counts as a job. And all these people you're sitting there saying, well, I'm working so hard, unlike the rest of them, going on YouTube and complaining, you do realize that most of the people you're probably referring to get paid by YouTube. That is their job. Probably something you might want to do. At least I'm assuming you've been uploading for like, what, 5, 8 years? So I'm assuming one day you would like to actually get paid for it. You know, you could be just sitting there trying to do marketing for Nintendo, but I think you're more of a detriment to Nintendo. Not even Nintendo accepts you.
Like, let's be real here. The console is going to be successful. It is going to do well. Everything they showed off is going to sell a lot. Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 are going to coexist in harmony, right? We are going to... Nintendo has won the console war, right? Like, you know, I've been saying that for, like, years now, but, like, it feels as if, like, the community is trying everything they possibly can to keep the discussion of the console negative, right? And they can't go after the games because they look great. They can't go after the hardware because it's great. Like, they can't even complain about the visuals anymore, right? So instead, they have to, like... They've been doing this really weird thing where they just pretend to be upset at, like, things that aren't even true, right? Like, the big one I noticed, right? The big one that really needs to be brought up is, like, the price point, you know? I was seeing people, like, say that, like, games were going to be sold for $90 or something, right? And then I actually looked into it. No, like they're being sold at a 70. You know, the typical retail.
Yes, we can sit there and say something about the hardware. The hardware is not as great as you make it out to be. It is significantly better than the Switch 1, but that wasn't hard to accomplish. But it's still outdated, and you do realize that the PS6 and the new Xbox is right around the corner, and the Switch 2 is going to be back in the exact same place that the Switch is. You know, now, is it going to be successful? Probably. Most likely, the Switch 2 will be successful. There are a select few people that are saying, like, oh, it's going to be another Wii U. Now, it could be. I think it's going to be more like a 3DS than actually a Wii U. You know, because you better hope that the rumor about Sony releasing another PSP isn't coming true, because guess what? If Sony releases a PSP, oh, Sony's going to be whooping that ass all over again, just like they did to the 3DS. Okay, if you look it up, PSP sold more. PSP made more money. PSP was just phenomenally better.
The typical industry standard today. Like, Mario Kart World is, like, a little bit more than that, I think, because it's a more elaborate game with, like, more specific features and stuff like that. But, like, yeah, Mario Kart World is more expensive than that, but that's, like, you know, that's Mario Kart. It's a big deal for them, what have you. So, like, it wasn't a big deal at all. And yet you have all these millionaire YouTubers acting like Nintendo just shut their dog or something. Like, it was legit, like, the big defining Coke after, like, this amazing Direct. Is like, you just have people who don't care about Nintendo at all. You know, people like Angry Joe or like Review Tech USA or like whoever, just sitting there trying to tell you that, like, oh, I was excited for this, but the price point killed it for me. And like, the reality is, like, if you watch their reaction footage, which is up for anyone to watch, like, you can see Angry Joe just sitting there like, I can't do it at this angle. He's sitting there like this.
I don't think you can do it at any angle, you know. And then you're sitting there saying, going on about, oh, well, you know, these millionaire YouTubers, are you jealous? Are you jealous that they get to sit there and do what they love doing, play video games all day and get paid for it? Because you don't. We know you don't. Neither do I yet, but that's okay. I'm an up-and-coming YouTuber. I will sit there and toot my own horn. I don't care. Come for me. But, you know, Mario Kart World is hands down, it's overpriced. Okay? They went above the industry standard for AAA pricing, which Mario Kart World isn't even at a AAA price, okay? The only game I would sit there and somewhat say might be considered a AAA price is Breath of the Wild. But they sat there and took Tears of the Kingdom, which honestly was no more than an overpriced expansion to Breath of the Wild. They really reused the assets and added a little bit more to it. I mean, that's how ridiculous some of the Nintendo people are. You're just mad that Nintendo don't get the recognition that you think they deserve.
The entire time. He has like this camera right here, and he's like staring into it, and he's just like, no reaction, no smile. He doesn't even fucking talk. You know, he doesn't know any of these characters or the franchise, or like, he probably doesn't even know what like a Nintendo is, honestly. Like, the guy has reviewed 2 Nintendo Switch games in like its entire 8-year run, and yet he wants to sit there and lecture us about the price of the console. You know? Like, and like, you keep seeing these guys do this too, where like, they'll openly say that like, oh, I have a $3,000 gaming PC. I have a $600 Steam Deck. I have a PS5 Pro, but like, oh no, I can't pay $450 for a Nintendo Switch. That's underpowered. You know, like, it's so...
It is underpowered. There's no debate behind it. How can you sit there and act like the Nintendo Switch 2 is just this new pinnacle of gaming hardware when it's not? Yeah, it's good for a handheld, but guess what? The Steam Deck had that when it first came out, and I don't even remember when they came out. You know, and I know you love to talk about the Steam Deck and everything. We'll get into another video about that one, because I plan on doing many videos about this guy. I mean, this guy is literally so pathetic that Nintendo don't even accept him. He is like that person when you would go over to someone's house and the parents hide the kid down in the basement. I think he was hidden down in the basement. You can clearly see he's in a damn basement. It's probably his mommy's basement.
Obviously fake, and so obviously forced. You know, trying desperately, however they can, to keep the discussion of the console negative. Right? You know, don't talk about the games, don't talk about the new tech, don't talk about like all the minor improvements. You know, these guys don't play on Switch anyway, so they wouldn't even know anything about like the QOL improvements and like the general design. Right? Like they don't understand what makes this console appealing to people. They really think just by sitting there and going like, I'm not interested in that, I don't want to play that, it's too expensive, that like people will think it's real. That like people will think this is like the general consensus. And like it's downright embarrassing that they've been doing that they came out and tried to do this so hard, right? And like, considering just the narratives they had.
It is the general consensus. Pretty much everybody is sitting there saying, mainly about Mario Kart World, because I don't think people realize. Did you know that in Japan that they're getting their Nintendo Switch 2 for $330? Okay, so you're going to have to pay $450 for that Switch, so you're paying $120 more than they are, but you're fine with that. I guarantee you that if they run out of pre-orders and you're not able to get one like that, I guarantee you would be the idiot that will go and spend over $1,000 from a scalper and then whine and complain online that you had to buy one from a scalper, which nobody forced you to go buy one.
Going into this, you know, like complaining about the price points and like getting basic things wrong. Like it's really hard for me to take any of these people seriously. Like, to me, I don't see gamers like, you know, talking about like the new upcoming console. I see opportunists looking to grift, you know, making angry rant videos, making like you know, fishing for attention, for engagement, right? Like, they never had any real interest in supporting this platform or the company that makes it. Like, again, this is very apparent if you like watch these people for any length of time. It's just like they don't know basic things about the company, and yet they're supposed to be like gaming YouTubers. It's embarrassing. Like it.
The only thing embarrassing is you. So are you sitting there saying that you can't review a product unless you know the history and everything about it? You know, just to be able to appreciate it. You know, go look at Beat 'em Ups. He is probably one of the biggest Nintendo YouTubers out there. He loves Nintendo. He is the poster boy for Nintendo, but he gives honest and good reviews. If Nintendo does not make a good product, he'll at least be honest about it. Okay, even he sat there and said Mario Kart World was too damn expensive. But what, are you going to sit there and say he's not a real gamer? The only ones that aren't real gamers are like you, Austin John Plays, Nintendo Prime. You know, you three are nothing but fanboys. You guys will accept anything Nintendo throws at you because I don't know why you're so in love with Nintendo. I really don't. Man, you're riding them so damn hard, dude. It's time to dismount already.
It really has been like a complete disaster, but like, it's like I feel as if like this is kind of like the last stand of like the Nintendo hate community, right? Because like they're doing the things they've always done, you know, complaining about the visuals, complaining about the games, complaining about the hardware, complaining about Nintendo's business practices. Like they're doing the same thing they've always done, but like there's a lot more pushback to this than there used to be. A lot more. And I know, because I remember when like the Wii U was announced and like it was universally reviled by everyone. You know, everybody complained about that thing, even though it was by far the best console on the market at the time. Like, I grew up in the Wii and GameCube era, and saw just how people would seethe about Nintendo, right? Like,
the Wii U was the greatest console at that time. You are in such delusion, my guy. That's why they only sold, what, less than 15 million copies? Even the PS Vita, which was a flop, sold more than the Wii U did. Are you kidding me? How can you sit there and say that the Wii U was the greatest console at that time? It didn't sell that much. It was considered a flop by Nintendo. Nintendo gave up on it. And then if you look at the GameCube, for instance, it only sold like 20-something million. It got its ass whooped by the PS2. Okay, listen, if anybody likes Nintendo, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a difference between loving Nintendo and then being a fanboy like this guy is. Okay, what everyone that's complaining about Nintendo, now there are some select few that just hate Nintendo no matter what you do. They can never accept a good game from Nintendo. There are those out there. But most of the people complaining about YouTube are trying to stand up for the consumer. Okay, we're not going to bend the knee to corporate greed like you want to do.
Like, I know very well just how deep, like, the Nintendo hate, how deeply that's ingrained into the gamer culture. And, like, it really does feel like, as of this specific Direct, like, it is over, and, like, but lots of people are still desperately trying to cling on to it, no matter, in any way they can. And it's just downright pathetic to see what some of these people are saying and what they seriously, genuinely believe about.
The only thing pathetic is you riding for Nintendo as hard as you do and you get absolutely nothing for it. Well, that's going to be it for my reaction. I'm planning on doing plenty more reactions of him because this guy's just a gift that keeps on giving. This guy just keeps releasing this content left and right, which is okay. It makes great content for the rest of us. But if you enjoyed my reaction, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.